Hi guys, this is Miss Seville.
I'm Miss Erickson and our little friend Sammy the Sloth here, all the way from Costa Rica.
Awesome. We are just hopping on today to bring you a short story that we want to read with you. And it's all about what do you do when you're feeling bored? Because
I've been feeling so bored lately.
Miss Erickson and I have been feeling very bored, and we're trying to come up with things to do when that happens. So we're going to read you a quick story. And then we're going to go over some questions, so follow along and look at all of the pictures, okay?
All right, Sammy Squirrel was bored. Mom, he said, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. How about all those gadgets you collect, said Mom. Broken toys, radios, cell phones. You love to tinker around with them. But I don't feel like it today, said Sammy. Maybe Sophie can think up a fun thing for me to do. Sammy knocked on Sophie's door. Knock, knock, knock. There was no answer. Sophie's gone to the library, said Mom. She's returning all those books that she checked out last week, and she'll probably bring 100 more back to read. At least she's not bored, said Sammy. Well, you don't have to be bored either, said Mom. Why don't you see if Pokey can play? So off Sammy went to Pokey's house. Pokey was lying in his hammock. Hiya, Pokey, what you doing? What does it look like, said Pokey. I'm lying in my hammock. I'm bored, said Sammy. Can you think of something fun for me to do? Sure, said Pokey. Try lying in my hammock. Ugh, said Sammy. That sounds even more boring. I don't think it is, says Pokey. But if you do, why don't you see what Lily's doing? So off Sammy went to Lily's house. Lily was in her playroom painting a picture. Hi, Lily, said Sammy. I'm bored. Can you think of something fun for me to do? You bet, said Lily. You can help me paint Dottie doll, and then we can make frames out of red paper. Or maybe you could paint my tail. Ah, said Sammy. I don't feel like painting. Can you think of something else that's fun to do? Nope, said Lily. I like painting. Why don't you try to go see what Goop's up to? So off Sammy went to Goop's house. Goop had his magnifying glass out and was looking for something in the grass. Hey, Goop, said Sammy. What you doing? Ants, said Goop. I'm looking at ants. Goop pulled Sammy down next to him. He shoved the magnifying glass into his paws. Lean down and you'll see hundreds of them. They're so cool. Sammy looked through the glass. Yikes, he said. I don't want to look at ants. They're creepy. Can you think of something else that's fun for me to do? Can't, said Goop. I'm into ants right now. Why don't you see what Jumper's up to? So off Sammy went to Jumper's house. Jumper was shooting baskets in the driveway. He dribbled the ball over to Sammy. Want to get in the game, he asked. No, said Sammy. I don't feel like playing basketball. Can you think of something fun for me to do? Watch this, said Jumper. I'm the rabbit. He jumped up and stuffed the ball into the baskets. A slam dunk. Sammy sighed. Nobody seems to have any fun ideas. Maybe he could play with Tag-Along Allie. So off he went to her house. Allie's granny was painting the front porch. Hi, Granny, said Sammy. Where's Tag-Along Allie? She's in bed with a sore throat, said Granny. Bummer, said Sammy. He paused. I'm bored. Do you want to play? Allie's granny laughed. Can't, Sammy Squirrel. I'm busy. No one will help me have fun, complained Sammy. I'm so bored. Well, isn't that your fault? Asked Allie's granny. You're in charge of having fun, not somebody else. What do you mean? Asked Sammy. I mean, you can make your own fun. You don't need others to make it happen. Just look around and think about it. You'll find something fun to do. Sammy looked around. He saw clouds. He saw trees. He saw 3 garbage cans lined up against the house. One had an old radio on top with wires sticking out in all directions. Suddenly, Sammy's brain lit up like a flashlight. Do you want that old radio anymore? He asked Allie's granny. No, she said, it's broken. That's why I threw it away. Can I have it? Asked Sammy. I love radios. Why, sure, said Allie's granny. Sammy picked up the radio and carried it home and set it down on the floor of his room. Then he got started. It took him a few hours to get the radio to work again, but by lunchtime it was fixed. He tied some ribbons around it and pasted stars all over. Then he carried the radio back to Tagalong Allie's house. What do we have here? Asked Allie's granny. A get-well present for Allie, said Sammy. I fixed it so she can listen to the radio while she's getting over her sore throat. I'm not bored anymore. I finally figured out how to make my own fun. Great, said Allie's granny. Let's go inside and show Allie. When Allie saw the radio, she broke into a smile as wide as a slice of cantaloupe. I love the ribbons, she said.
Awesome. That was a great story.
Do you ever feel bored, Bailey?
I do. Sometimes when I don't have anything to do, I feel discouraged because I don't know how to keep myself busy. And right now we're all staying at home. We, could be doing the same things over and over, and that can get a little boring. So yes, I definitely feel bored sometimes.
So what can you do if you're having one of those moments where you're feeling really bored? What are some things that you might be able to do that you enjoy?
Well, like Sammy in the story, it took him a while to figure out something to do, right? And he thought that everybody else would come up with something. So I think that I would maybe make a list of things that I could do when I'm feeling bored ahead of time. So that way, when I do feel bored, I can go to the list and say, okay, which one of these do I want to complete?
So what's one thing that would be on your list? Something that's always interesting or fun for you to do?
I've always enjoyed coloring a lot, and I don't really have a lot of time to do that normally. So maybe that could be something that I do, or I could make cards for people or anything crafty like that. I would really enjoy.
Cool. I like playing with my dog or doing some yoga or going for a walk.
Yeah,
maybe.
So I think brainstorming some ideas ahead of time is important, right?
Yeah, because then you can have a list and you can be like, I'm bored, and just go to your Boredom Buster list and see what you can figure out.
Yeah, so in the story, they give you a few ideas about what you can do when you're bored. So I'm going to read those, and then you guys can come up with your own ideas too. Okay, so the next time you feel bored, do something nice for someone, like Sammy did for Allie, because that makes you feel good, it makes them feel good. I think that's a great idea. Trying to do something today that you've always been scared to do. You can make a new friend, raise your hand in class, or clean the toilet.
How many of you want to clean the toilet?
Not me. Next time you get mad and want to say something mean or rude, bite your tongue instead and don't say it. So that is something, just another tip if you're feeling frustrated. I know that we're all at home right now with our families and our siblings, and we're all together, so that can cause a little bit of frustration sometimes. So that's a good tip. If you do something wrong, say you're sorry before someone asks you to apologize. It's a nice tip too, especially when we're all together like this. So those are the 4 tips that they had relating to the story. Talk to your families about ideas that you can do. Just get creative, guys. Okay?
All right. Hang in there, guys.
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye.